Hi everybody, I'm Bill Sanders and this is Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection. Today what I want to talk about is has to do with having watches by top watchmakers. The problem with getting watches from top watchmakers is that we can't afford them. Pretty much it. And one of the things, what I found, there's place I go is the AHCI, which is basically it's the independent watchmakers group that has all of the very best watchmakers, not only in Switzerland but in the world. And in order to become a member of that, you have to be really good. And so what I did was to try to find some watchmakers who are really excellent, most of whom have either they've been recognized because they're in AHCI or they've won awards or one thing or the other or both. And so anyway, so let's take a look at these. Now the first one is Antoine Prezuzzo, and he's won a couple Grand Prix awards, and he has and I think the other ones do too. There are two levels. There's sort of like watches for everybody, and then watches, for people with hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the ones, and this is true with all of the watchmakers we're going to look at. What you'll find is that they have the movements are by ETA. They're not the kind of level that the what quote in-house, all in-house are, but rather what they are is that they're a base movement, and then on top of that they build whatever complications that are necessary for the watch that they want. But they're not just exactly what you'd say an off-the-shelf ETA or something like that. So let's take a look at these. And here are a couple by Prezuzzo. One is a Trans World, and it's now the caliber is called APG for Antoine Prezuzzo, and it has an ETA 2897 base to it. And there's different versions. This one's called the Trans World, the one on the left, and it runs around 5-ish thousand Swiss francs. Now, on the other hand, if you go into the pre-owned market, what you can find some really good buys. There's one called Hours of the World. It's 2709. That was it was the best price I found, and this is pre-owned. So you can find top watchmakers with really excellent watches, but with bases on less expensive movements. And so the base place to look for Antoine Prezuzzo's collection is at the URL down there at the bottom. You can find them there, but you can also just put it out and do a Google search looking for his watches. The second one is Paul Gerber, and this is one that I really like. But I've always liked this movement. It's in an ETA 2824-2 movement, and it's obviously it's an automatic, but it's been reworked, and it has a triple rotor, and there's the triple rotors are synchronized, and that they're all turning at the same time. They're 18 karat gold. You can see over on the picture on the right side, the rotors that they have. I don't know why, but I really think that's a very cool thing to have. And again, Paul Gerber is one of the AHCI members, really a fantastic. And of course, he has some other watches that are just, way up there, quite spectacular, as a matter of fact. But this one is, and this is sort of from his site, his collection has them. You can get them at www.gerber-urin.ch. 5,100 Swiss francs, and now that's without the VAT. There's a Swiss VAT, which is I think about 7 or 8% right in there. And if you're in the EU, there's a little heftier VAT. The U.S. doesn't have any VAT. There's a customs tax. It isn't very much. So this is a beautiful watch. This is the newest version that he's come out with of the triple rotor one. Finally, is Vincent Calabrese. Vincent Calabrese, by the way, was one of the two co-founders of the AHCI. And now here are 3 watches from his site. It's vincentcalabrese.com collections. And there's another thing. This is a little, I'm not sure what it is, but you should know about it. There's another group of Calabrese watches called Nouvelle Horlogerie Calabrese, and its abbreviation NHC. And I think that was some other, at one time or another, there was some, I guess, organization or something, and I don't know what the deal was, but you can find the watches. At the Calabrese site, you can find them for the prices indicated, and online, then you can look at eBay and all of the other places, and they have some other ones that obviously they usually are they're pre-owned or usually good savings. The Griffey has a wandering hour, and the wandering hour is a patented system by Calabrese, and it's also used on the Chronos, the Pursuit of Time. The dial design is really interesting. With Chronos had 12 daughters, and they always were pursuing time because they were afraid they were getting too old, and so it's sort of a really very dramatic type of dial design. Now, this one is 8,800 CHF, Swiss francs, but I found one for $6,000, not CHF, online. So you can find some really good buys. All of these use the ETA 2892A2. Now, they're not off the shelf at the time ETAs. By the way, too, ETA 2892A2 is a very good movement from ETA. But anyway, those are 3 top watchmakers where you might find affordable watches. Be very interested to hear your thoughts on that. This is an opportunity to subscribe if you like. Till next time, this is Bill Sanders for Watch AHCI, the art and science of watch collection.